Hello, my name is Derek. I sell physical media on eBay, and I talk about it on this channel. And this is a sales video for what sold. I like that music. You know, it's a little different from what I usually use. Maybe it's enough to. It is okay. That picked up. Can't be listening to it all day. I got a video to make. Sounds amazing. All right. So I changed that intro up. I watched another video. You know, always watching things to learn things. And one of the things in that video was not to start your video off with, welcome back. Their anecdotal reasoning, I can understand. Also, I've been doing that for about a whole year now, so it kind of got boring. Not really. I liked it because I'm like, hello, and welcome back. But, oh well, my channel, I change things. There are a couple other things that were within there. Oh, so for anyone, so someone who did subscribe to my channel back on Christmas of last year, Jeff Man 316, I want to say, went and I'll watch a couple of his videos regarding like Blu-rays and Criterion. He covers a lot about different movies and things, and so it's good to have a little bit of that information and pop knowledge and also support other channels. So he went live doing a 4,000 subscriber thing yesterday, and then he went live again, and I went in there, and he was just kind of talking in the video. He said something about WWE, and then I made a comment. It's like WWE. It's like, oh, that's strange. I went to high school with Michael Tarver or Monster Tarver, or his name is Tyrone Evans. You can see that in the community post. So then Jeff Meehan said in his videos, like, oh man, that's cool. If you can get a hold of him, I'd see if I can get him on this channel for an interview. All right. So I went ahead and started some communications with that. I messaged his brother, who was my grade. Tyrone was a couple grades higher, or at least one, maybe two higher. And see if anything can avail of that. It'd be definitely interesting. It'd be interesting. I don't think it would happen, but I don't think that it would happen that would be able to like interview his dad, and his dad was a professional boxer back in the 90s. I remember one specifically that he one of his bouts or his fights with Buster Mathis. I always want to say Buster Douglas, but I mean it's been such a long time. That was probably mid 90s, probably even earlier than that. But their dad, Tyrone Evans Sr., he'd at least hit this ceiling right here. He's 6'7", or maybe he was 6'8" then, 6'7". He's a big guy. I mean, I'm 6'4", and that's tall, but I'm just not like bulky big. All right, so enough little story about that. There was something else, but oh well. Oh yeah. So the other thing is, so I tested that program CapCut. It does have some better features on it. It takes me it'll take a little while to kind of get used to a lot of different things. The one thing that I'll have to do that when I'm editing this exact video. And so I went ahead and I have some stuff pulled, but after I get to the bottom, I have to pull the other stuff. So let's find out what all this stuff is first, and then you guys can follow along as I pull the other stuff, which in turn, there's 12, well, almost 12. There should be 12 here. And there's 6 more that sold from when I posted that video at like 5 o'clock. Oh, Donna. Donna was her name. That's not it. Donna was her name. Oh, Donna. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I listened to Richie Valens. Dance DVD, 19. It's been a mad, mad world. Gary Jules, UK import, 15. Armed and Dangerous, John Candy. Old Blockbuster. Blockbuster stickers. So a lot of VHS that have the Blockbuster cases and have the case corresponds with the VHS and so on and so forth. A lot of those can. I mean, if it's a $5 VHS, it could get 15, 20 bucks because it's in a Blockbuster case. That's not true all the time. It does apply a lot. But a lot of people like to just have a Blockbuster case right here and then the title on the side, what have you. But this I've had for actually, in yesterday's video, I said that I was not going to look for a date stamp, and I don't see one on here. So I've had this for well over 3 years. Eventually, 10 bucks. Would I usually hold on to something, a VHS, that's got enough attention over every at least 3 months, 3 to 6 months? It gets enough views to where I can bring it down a little in price. Yeah, that $10 mark is usually right about pushing it at. If we were to be priced at something a little bit below that, I probably wouldn't be wasting too much time. But it's gotten enough over all those years to where eventually someone's like, yeah, I'll take that for 10. This cool Mother Earth News Handbook of Homemade Power. So it's a very, very clean book. As far as that one opens, it is otherwise a perma bind, except for this is called Crawford binding, but it's still like a perma bind, except for it's different because this one they just cut like the actual cover and just glued it on this and then put it back on it, unlike the Hobbit one, which was the entire paperback split, put on a hardcover, and then coated over. So a little different, but I had just relisted this one and sold, I think that day, for 35 bucks. And hardcover, where I got that was Salvation Army, I remember that, and it was 2 bucks. Dean Martin, Greatest Hits. Nope. So I'm gonna find Dean Martin, Greatest Hits. Looks like it is sealed, and I'll know that without even looking at the picture or without looking at the title. Here it is. Because if it's an open CD, I take the CD out, and it's placed right on this, right below it, right? And if it's sealed, I really can't take the CD out without unsealing it, or de-sealing it, I guess, right? But this is 11. This Steam Packet Recordings. I never got this down in Randall. And I think it was even that same day when I ran into that one lady who I know who she does a lot of Amazon. And she had never been to that store. It just happens to be that one time I would run into each other again. So I'm over at the CDs, and she asked right when she's checking out. And she goes, "You ever find anything good?" it in there. I was like, I mean, that varies. It's always bread and butter stuff. And I happened to find, I remember it was a video game. I don't remember what the game was. And then this, but when I looked it up, there was only like one other Tire Peak sale. I don't remember exactly what it was for, but let's just say it was for $50 because that's what this one sold for. And I was like, yeah, well, you just never know with physical media or a lot of other things. I mean, um, she does books, so she knows that she could just be at one book that she'd be looking at a bunch of 10, and she looks at another and it's 100. But 99% of what she does is all scan. Well, this does not have a barcode, so I took the time. And I did it because it has a fairly interesting looking graphic, and it's 2 disc. So $50. And it's going across the pond. Let's see if I can. So it's going to Lanza, California. But she could have it addressed to go somewhere else. All right, this is City by Clifford Smack. Another one I just relisted. I think it was the day before it sold. $30. Here's a winner for sure, but not the best for the day or for the video wise. So this is one got at Savers. I don't remember. Probably had $3 on it, but it just had enough like real interest to me to look at it. You know, it has this gold relief, so these letters are reliefed or embossed, and it's this gold coating, and it's a nice, real shiny, thick paper cover, and it's a larger print font. So I'm not 100% exactly what what it's about, but it definitely has a lot of pictures of people looking up. Sets of these, the 3 set or whatever it was anywhere from like 300 to $400, or maybe 4 of the books were 400 or 500. So I put up a little higher individually, and someone came in and got it for 99. So I had it priced a little higher. What was it at? $120. And another book, Passion of Lord. I'm just reading that. So this book here, this paperback, 17. The First Noel, Cleveland Orchestra, CD, sealed, 20. Three Dog. Oh, again, Fallout. Three Dog Night, CD, 19. So if you're new here, I round up or round down. This is 1946, so I said 19. If it was 1956, I would have said 20. And I do free shipping on everything but auctions. Michael Hedges, Oracle, CD, sealed, 18. And now we're going to go into, I know there's several books, so I can grab those 3. All right, so first, we have a copy of The Soul Boom by Rainn Wilson. Maybe 10 of these copies a little over a year ago at a Goodwill up in Madison. Where they're either $1 or $1.50 each. And they're dwindling down. They were going for more way when ago. And now just not so much. But still make money on them. Not a whole lot. Getting something back. $12. And now I have one more left. Now let's actually get to, it's going to be in here. Go get, that's not the right franchise. So it shows that it's sealed. It's in C29. Harry Potter soundtrack for Prisoner of Azkaban. I don't know. I've never watched any of them or read any of the books. 16. The winner of the day is this Isaac Asimov Foundation book. So it's definitely an older one. If it was a non-book club edition, I believe it's a book club. That's how it is, or close enough to be a BCE. And all the printing information on it would be that of a BCE, because if it was a regular print book, all this would be all filled out. It would have the publisher address, the printing, and all that other stuff. And this is how a BCEs are usually done. If it was a genuine print of it and not a condensed or BCE type, it'd probably been easily $800 to over $1,000. This one was not. It's still definitely well enough for me to buy and sell for $130. And that sounded like I threw it down on that stack. I didn't. And I think there's 2 or 3 more things. 36. This Samara Joyful Holiday CD 19. So with physical media, I tell you, I very, 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 very rarely deal with complaints. Even if there is a crack on a case or something, I will mention it. I mean, if it's a small like hairline that's half the size of the width of a finger or something, no. But if it's an obvious crack that's going across, yes. Do I have to? No, you don't. Because as long as it's in the picture, you're protected from any sort of negative reviews, because a picture is the same thing as a written description. According to eBay last fall. So if it's in the picture, and even if you don't put it in words, it's in the picture. So what you could see, like you could see things and you can also see words, and it's all done with your eyes. So if you could see that there's damage, the seller doesn't have to put that there's damage in there. Now, if there's damage that's not shown in any pictures and never written, then yeah, any sort of complaint or return is well more merited. Be familiar with the policies. Understand how they work. And every once in a while, as a seller, you may actually have to test those policies. And even with the eBay reps, you may even have to school them on some stuff. And I don't want to, I might. But the last eBay rep that I communicated with through Facebook basically concluded that sellers don't have any protections. Matter of fact, I will, because my comment there is like, tell your stupid ass rep that they need to learn about seller protections. All right. So then I could, if I wanted to, then I could bring up the issue that I had with whenever I contacted the eBay rep, and I could show you that I was right and my problem was resolved the correct way. I don't remember what it was. But understand the policies. It definitely comes in handy. And I'll have another instance of that coming up here in a little bit. When and if I get the item back, and the intent on why I had to contact the Manor Police Department, have them come here and file a complaint. And I don't think the officer is going to file charges against the buyer, but be familiar with different things. And even if you have to contact the police and then the police contact the buyer, that's how some buyers are. Oh, if they come back, I'll bring it up. When the case closes, if they never come, when that resolves, I'll bring that up and I'll talk about that one, because that definitely helps in regards to knowing the policies on how I am protected as a seller 100% in what I sold and how I listed it. Don't ride that wave like a scapegoat. Just be like, oh no, I can sell anything and get away with everything. No. Because if you show a pattern of that type of malfeasance and abuse, then yeah, you're going to get kicked off of eBay. And now, since with all the different personal identifiers to open up a new account and to sell, what you can open up a guest account all day long and have minimal problems with verification. But sellers accounts, yeah, there's a lot more verifications and banks and routers and ISPs and all that other stuff. So, all right. Next thing is this. I got one of them. Monkey. Say, camera. Meow. All three of them went running past me. Well, at least it felt like three. Maybe one ran past, turned around, came back, and ran past again. But this air traffic control book, $50, 50, international. Salt, pepper. Should be right down on the bottom because it's a much nearer it is. Salt and pepper. CD 15. My time was. All right. Well, I usually say the day and the time at the beginning of the video. I was trying to redo the kind of intro. So it is now 8:45 and it's Monday morning. And so the video is about a half hour. It'll be chopped down much more than that. Alrighty. So in all, that is 18 going out from Saturday after that video posted. So if you're new here, my sales day is basically after video posts to video. So video to video. So essentially, if there's a sale that happens while I'm editing this video, it will be added in the screenshot. If not, then that's just finalized for the day. That this is what it is. So it's basically video edit time to video edit time, and I'm done with the videos around 10:30. Now, some things may come in over a sale that after the video is already done that I just want to go ahead and elect to get out for it to go ahead and go. If it was a bigger, more expensive book that I want to ensure it gets there quick and whichever. So there's that. But anyhow, 640 in sales out of the 18. So 9 and 320. So about 35 average. Yeah, 9. Not 9 times 6. What am I thinking? So 35 is 8. So 9 and 4. 40 is 36. So it's just shy of that. So it's like 35 average. Better than bread and butter. There's a lot of bread and butter in here. product cost received, I'm just going to have to say, I don't know. But if I keep saying PCR and people don't know what PCR is, so the product cost that I got, the amount that the person paid previous to any tax or any VATs or anything, is combined 584. So that's about $80 and or $60, 55 at international. I think there's two. There are two. So, side of that, I'm going to see if I can try to end this with the intro roughly the right way. That's going to wrap that one up. So if you like what you heard, like what you saw, like what you learned, I wouldn't say non-barcode stuff, right? Because I don't know, maybe this pilot one, but it's just a larger book. I typically wouldn't do these larger books like this, but I just happen to be there. It's definitely interesting enough. I scan it, and it did have some value. But the Isaac Asimov, I wouldn't say you have to get to know every single author out there, but he's a prolific science fiction author. And if you can find any of his stuff, and like Robert Heinlein, same thing with him. If you can find any of their earlier stuff, you can just look at the feel, the visual feel, the visual texture of it, the font, the discoloring, the actual color that was used. It's going to be pretty easy to easier to ascertain that it's an older book. And this does not have a barcode. Non-barcode stuff, right? So, I mean, I see that one in quite a bit. Actually, you can even go with this Permabond. Well, that $35 book isn't quite the same as a $130 book. All right. Everything is going up. Comment down below. Subscribe, share. Those are all free. They help me. We're all helping each other here. Appreciate it. Thank you.